Guys, we have a problem in the metal space, and I think many of you are pretty aware of this. I'm here on Wall Street Silver today, and this person who just posted for the first time on Wall Street Silver brought it up. And I want to read this to you and let me know if this sounds familiar. But he specifically aims it towards the metals versus crypto. But I want to talk about it in a broader range and then also talk about crypto a little bit. So here is a bit of what he said in this highlight. I see lots of misinformation about Bitcoin and other cryptos in here. They are all tools to go against the fake Ponzi scheme of the dollar, so we should try to make friends with them. For example, I am a crypto fanatic, and with the correct argument from HH, I transferred a large amount into silver, PSLV, and some physical. But trust me, you don't convince people who have crypto to buy silver by saying crypto is backed by the dollar or crypto was created by the government. Like, come on. Now, two things here. I completely agree with this sentiment that when you say things like crypto is backed by the dollar or crypto was created by the government, not only do you scare people off who are in the crypto space from entering in the silver space, but you just kind of scare people off in general from metals because people are just going to look at it and just be like, well, I don't want to be associated with these guys. These guys sound like, they're just, living in their mom's basement and, they just sound wacky. That's why I come on here all the time, show a lot of what some may deem boring, information about fundamentals. I sometimes show charts, but I try to keep it very, very close to, or as close as I can get it, to just pure facts. I try to just keep it that way. For example, someone on Wall Street Silver asked, well, how can we share information and get more people into the gold and silver space? And I said, hey, and I also called this out, just this title here, but I said, hey, show them this website. It has pure facts, information from sources that people within mainstream would usually or likely accept because it comes from mainstream sources like the Bureau of Economic Analysis or Bureau of Labor Statistics here in the United States and Federal Reserve research arm as well. When you show people things like that, it'll make them more receptive to the space. But I also have a problem with some of the people in the crypto space who are, I guess, as this person likes to call himself, a crypto fanatic. And at the end of the day, the crypto space also has people within it who also have those similar leanings where people are just saying, hey, I don't want to be a part of that at all. And now the NFT space has that same issue. But speaking of crypto, let's talk about what Kathy Wood said here recently. And she's comparing Bitcoin to gold and the gold standard. Watch what she says here in this tweet. And I quote, the technologically enabled innovation evolving today dwarfs that of the late 1800s, early 1900s. Genomic sequencing, robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology. Moreover, Bitcoin could be today's gold standard, increasing purchasing power. Now, obviously, I would push back on that. The main reason why I push back on that is because of the unique qualities of metals. It's a quality that Bitcoin doesn't and will never have. You see, the thing about Bitcoin and blockchain is that it's man-made. Anything man-made can be man-unmade. If you try hard enough and if there's a will for it. When it comes to gold and metal, gold, silver, or just the general elements, you got to deal with science. And at the end of the day, I just pulled this up here. Check this out. Any substance that contains only one kind of an atom is known as an element, which would be gold, Au, or silver, Ag. Because atoms cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction, Elements such as phosphorus, P4, or sulfur, S8, cannot be broken down into simpler substances by these reactions. And if you need even more of a clarification, atoms cannot be subdivided, created, or destroyed. Atoms of different elements can combine in simple whole number ratios to form chemical compounds. In chemical reactions, atoms are combined, separated, or rearranged. So, at the end of the day, there is no tail risk for gold or silver, this specific kind of tail risk of being completely gotten rid of or destroyed. There was a time before Bitcoin that existed, and there will be a time when people are done with Bitcoin or done with the blockchain where Bitcoin will not exist. There wasn't a time, as far as elements are concerned, in human existence that gold did not exist, and gold will be here if we wind up destroying this earth and destroying ourselves in it. So that's just something that, as far as purchasing power, the purpose of gold, all that stuff, there's a reason why people go to the elements. It's because it cannot be broken down. Now, let's talk about what's going on today, because I know some people are a little bit concerned about seeing this big red candlestick here, not only in gold, but also seeing it within the silver price as well. Big candlestick here. Now, obviously, I don't get too shaken up by these, day by day movements. It's nice to see upward growth. Sometimes it's a little, bummy to see some backsliding. But at the end of the day, you even got the big banks calling inflation out. Goldman says companies that can pass on price increases will thrive as inflation picks up. And if there's a little bit of information here, I'll read that for you. Just a lot of ads on here, so my computer is kind of slowing down because of it. But basically, inflation has become a pressing threat for equity investors enjoying the market's record run. And there are the ads in this year. Man, these ads are just like pushing everything down. For those expecting a rise in price pressures to lead to many casualties in the stock market, Goldman Sachs identified a slew of names immune to the potential inflationary force. So, again, I've been calling out inflation since last year. That will be coming in 2022. The Fed has now said it. Goldman is saying it. Everybody's saying it. So, with inflation coming, and we already see it in some indexes, but I think for most people, they're talking about, or most institutions, whenever they bring up inflation, they're talking about CPI. So when CPI rises, you should expect to see it impact gold and silver prices to the upside. So whenever you see things like this today in the silver space, especially for you new guys in the space, don't get worried. I know some people might even look at it as being advantageous. Hey, it might be a good time to get some more silver as the price comes down and corrects a little bit. So guys, let me know what you think about all of the topics I went through today. We talked about, some of the way that we come off within the metal space. We talked about crypto. We talked about Bitcoin versus gold and silver, the scientific support for there not being a tail risk for destruction of gold or silver, and also just the general movements for the day. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks again for watching. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you're new. It's Black Bullion for goldandsilvertoday.com.